emeralds. Don't call me Knuckles for nothing, I get loose. Sure bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. Stay knuckled up in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me a box. An aquatic mind. Once was a cold pit, but now it's a water ride. Makes you wanna sit back, enjoy the life, and do things you like doing, get to shine. It's your bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. I stay knuckled up, I'm in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna cut me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. I'm in narrow hallways, running like it's a ball game. Hand tracks be tracking me to different doorways. In a maze, and I don't know what to do. Guaranteed though, I'ma find the emeralds. Don't call me Knuckles for nothing, I get loose. Sure bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. Stay knuckled up in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me a box.
One, two, three. Can you hear me? Let's go. Let's get this on. Let's get this going. All right. I tapped the camera got tapped a second ago. So maybe how's the audio? Yeah, I think I tapped my camera for a second. A moment ago, and sometimes that affects the audio, so people need to keep an eye on the audio for me, or I might lose it. Anyway, let me adjust everything. Right, so we're gonna boop, boop. There we go. It's a red night tonight. Late night, no more heroes night. Alright, I'm tired. Yeah, I've been doing. Let me try and explain myself. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Videos, 2 videos, 3 maybe. Update video plus 2 videos will be coming on the way. I'm waiting on a guest's appearance for 1 video, and I should be. I think that's coming around just nicely. If they need any help, I'm gonna help sort that out. So maybe by next week we'll actually have a full video done. The other video in question, I've pretty much finished writing the script, so I just have to record it and edit it, I guess. Well, tomorrow probably I'll rewatch it, make some extra notes about some pieces, adjust the final bits of the script, then record it, then figure out how much of it I can do in live action. Because I feel like I might be on screen a fair bit on it, because it's a smaller video, smaller. First video we're talking like 40 minutes, second video we're talking maybe 15, if I'm lucky. So in the coming weeks we're going to have some stuff going on, we're going to have things happening, alright? There's going to be a thing happening every day. No, not really, but something will happen, I'll make sure to stream beforehand. Yeah. Right. Let's check what the chat's saying. Well, how's the audio? Okay, people can still hear me, right? So that's good. Yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna go for today. So because yeah, so, it's been a little bit turbulent around. Despite the COVID stuff, yesterday I got to see some friends for the first time, some old friends from a long time ago. For the first time in a long time. So like, it's like real deal seeing old friends at time. It brings back memories. You remember stuff from your past, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see people again for once. I usually spend too much time inside, so it's good to get out from time to time to actually see people. Now it's a little bit more viable. I'm like double jabbed and things are open again, kind of, but I don't know for how long. We'll see. Things are keeping kind of steady, but I don't know. I haven't kept an eye on it too much. Just trying to be careful. So we got Eden, is it? How's it going? And Gustavo. It is later than usual. I'm afraid. Yeah. The day got beyond me a little bit. I was trying to do. I don't know. I was just getting lost in the day a bit. Probably because I'm tired. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just very busy yesterday, and today I've been in and out. I got up quite early today actually, but like somehow the days lost on me, and I spent some time trying to adjust the script, and then I was like, oh, okay, well it's a bit late now, so I'm going to leave it a couple hours because I want to eat dinner first, because I didn't want to start streaming before I ate dinner, because I didn't want to have a really late dinner. So I made sure to keep writing the script and then eat dinner, and I was like, all right, I'll start screaming. I'll start not screaming. I'm not going to scream tonight, probably not. We'll see. But I'll start streaming after I've ate and I'm ready and I'm comfortable. So yeah, today we're going to do a later night stream, and I don't know how long we'll go, but we'll go until I fall asleep probably. All right, and everyone can hear me, so yeah, keep an eye on the audio just in case it starts fucking, because it's pretty late. Thanks for the shoulders. Yeah, sure. I made them myself. Well, no, I didn't, but well, I sustained them myself, I guess. And thanks to the Gustavo. Thanks for the comment. This is the T-shirt here. I bought it specifically for streaming, but I was going to wear it in a video too. Probably the next video when I record it. Maybe I'll record. All right. If I'm lucky tomorrow, I could try and record the live action segment. But maybe it'll be It might be, what is it, Sunday today? I'm guessing. So maybe on Tuesday I'll record the live action segment. But this T-shirt would be very good for the video I'm doing. The other video, out of the two. Yeah, it is actually, this is a No More Heroes free shirt. Not a game that I own, but I like my man Suda. And No More Heroes. And, well, it wasn't 100% intentional. When I bought these, I was buying them for the Redline video. They've kind of come like a staple now for the actual channel, because I like them quite a lot. I think they're fun glasses. But I bought them for the Redline video because I wanted a kind of aesthetic to go with what I was doing with the Redline video. I wanted a character. I wanted to be representational of the situation. So I had the leather jacket and I had the shades, even though the character in Redline doesn't wear shades. But I thought it felt appropriate to have something on the camera. So I bought these, and yeah, I quite like them. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so this shirt is No More Heroes. I think it's from 3. It was like a limited edition thing. I remember seeing it somewhere. I can't remember where I found this. I remember there was something that... Oh god, what was it? Maybe it was a link upon a link, because I remember someone posting like a funny image from like the game. But like, because this is like one of the shirts that Travis has in the game. And then there was like it may have been like off Suda51's like Twitter or something, but they were doing like a limited run of different shirts for the game. And this one I thought would be a very fun one to wear. I like it. I like wearing tank tops anyway. I always wear them. You know, if it's well in the summertime, or well, I don't know. I guess with the climate situation, it still feels like summer. It's still been really warm recently, so it might as well be summer. It's really humid in here right now too. But yeah, the weather's kept really nice. I went out for a cycle earlier. It was pretty warm. I got a little little heated. But yeah, like even yesterday when it was kind of murky, it was way humid. Yeah, going up those hills was. Oof, I was going up some hills to get to my friend's house. It was. Well, it wasn't like a bad exercise, but it was just so. I was just got so sweaty. You know what? I shouldn't have wore the trousers. To be honest, I wore the trousers because like, oh, it was kind of raining. Like when I was left the house to go there, it was kind of raining. So I was like, oh, I should have brought a coat. But then by the time I got to like the bus stop, it wasn't raining anymore, and it was just like sweltering. And the shorts would have probably been a better move. Had more mobility, maybe less heat. But what can you do? Too late now. How's it going, HFC World? Right, let me just double check everything here. Put that one away. Alright. How are we all doing tonight? Again, tell me if my audio goes funny, because I'm expecting the camera to play up a little bit. But yeah, well, where were we? Yeah, just like the heat. The heat recently has been really bad. So like wearing tank tops and shorts. I'm wearing some shorts too. Yeah, it's just good. HFC. Going back from going back from the doctors a few days. I'll still be on work leave, but I have some drawing to get done today. Okay, that's good. I hope the drawing goes alright, and you haven't impaired your wrist or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, going to the doctors can be kind of annoying. I mean, I told it a couple of times last on stream, but yeah, the last time I went to the doctors recently for my wrist, they just like electrocuted it. Oh dear. What's happening? Sorry, YouTube's telling me the stream is not going, but it says it's fine on my end. So I don't know what's happening. Seems okay. Is the stream okay for everyone? Stream health. Why is the stream health poor? Should be fine. Lagging a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what that is. If that is because my stream says it's in the green on my side. It might be because I just closed Discord and maybe that messed with it. Maybe I got confused. Maybe I should not close Discord then. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, it seems fine. My stream seems to be. Oh, okay. It says it's healthy again. Yeah, it was probably because I closed Discord and maybe it messed with it a little bit. Hopefully it's back to normal now. Yeah, I think it's literally because I closed Discord and it didn't like it. Okay. Oh, so it's like a foot injury. Okay, well I hope the walking isn't too bad, because you know it's kind of important to get around. But yeah, like last time I went to the doctors, they just electrocuted my wrist, and I haven't heard back from them since. I might have to message them or something, just because I was expecting them to give me another appointment to do like a ultrasound, and I've heard nothing. It's been probably almost a month now since that happened. I was expecting at least a letter. How's it going, Inks Manga? Okay, so yeah, it was lagging. Apparently everyone's fine now. Yeah, it was probably because I closed Discord. I thought Discord might mess with the connection, but it turns out like removing Discord messed with the connection. So what can I say? What can I do? How's it going, Zoltergeist? Okay, so you won't be able to go back to the doctors until late October. That sounds about right. I know how the doctors be. It's a slow process. I've been kind of been lucky that my wrist, for the most part, recently has been feeling like it's getting slowly better. It might be because I've been out a lot more cycling, and that sort of it's like it's kind of like a little bit of physio on it, because like lifting yourself on the bike, you're kind of moving your muscles and moving your body proportions around a bit. It takes a little press, it takes a little resistance, and it's sort of like you're pushing against that. And I've learned how to ride one-handed when it's like too much, so I think that's kind of been pushing it in a good way, like been good exercise for it, just finding its level of resistance. Because there was a time where even just cycling like normally would really hurt my wrist, but now it doesn't, or my right wrist rather, because of the condition. But now, no, it's usually pretty alright. Like there's some mild irritation, but nothing like it used to be. How's it going to God? I can't even pronounce. Wait a minute. How would I even pronounce that? I don't. I'm not good with Russian. Well, how's it going, my friend? That's all I'll say. So you're doing some freelance, work pay, and I noticed that Reddit is one of the worst places to get your work out there, in my opinion. It's one of the worst I mean, yeah, it might be. I mean, Reddit's very difficult to work with in general. In my experience, Reddit gets very funny about I mean, it's a platform where you post stuff, but they just don't want you to post stuff that you made. They want you to post stuff that you found that someone else made. Which, I don't know. You just have to wait for someone to usually post something that you've done, like a Good Samaritan, but then like you can't post the same couple of artists multiple times on Reddit because they'll treat it like it's your content anyway. So like if you're a bastion of one certain channel, you can't quite be, depending on the subreddit, because they won't let you do that. I don't know. The rules are so fucking weird. How's it going? Motebang, right? What was that? Motebang? How's it going, my friend? Yeah, we're just chilling tonight. It's a little bit late night. It's taking a little drink. Yeah, we're just we're taking it slow. Taking it slow tonight. This is gonna be like what do the Americans call it? I guess over here they'd call it like BBC Radio or whatever, or like maybe like Radio 4 or something, or Radio 3. Like when you talk really slow and quietly into the microphone, and you tell people that was Sonic Jam on the track list right there, a classic from the Japanese studio Sega that we've been listening to tonight, made in its seminal time period of 1996, also known as the Sonic Drought. A very classical piece of Sonic music. Obviously not quite the most popular piece, but we here at FF Jam Radio like to show the old classics that no one's quite heard of. That's how we're going to talk for the rest of the thing. Yeah, I'm the radio bibliography crowd. Yeah, NPR is the American equivalent. Yeah. MMX Jelly. I mean, I'm pretty knackered to be honest. Karma Farmers. Yeah, that's kind of Reddit's deal, isn't it? I don't know. What even is... Can anyone explain to me what, like, the appeal of karma is on Reddit? I don't quite get it. I guess if the number goes up, is that it? Oh yeah, I did hear the Sega arcade is shutting down in Japan. You know, they used to say that the Sega arcade in Japan was connected to the Yakuza, and not the ones from the video games. So, I don't know if there's been some sort of happening there, but yeah. I mean, maybe not these days, but it's a real shame. I mean, maybe that's a COVID thing. Is it a COVID response, or is it just not pulling the numbers in anymore? But those arcades in Japan were always so cool, like the ones that are like multi-story. Although I don't know how they quite operate, because nowadays, whenever I go to like an arcade thing, like sometimes there's like pop-up arcades in my like area. Sometimes, I mean, there's also other ones, but like more traditional. But usually they work on like a scale, so you get like you buy a ticket and then you can just play everything. Like, there's no coins anymore. It's just you buy your slot and you go around and you play all the games and then you leave. You don't have to like put your coins in anymore because who's fucking carrying that many coins, and it's like excessively expensive sometimes. Last time I went, I remember playing what was it? It's Pew 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 Time Crisis 2 with my friend Liam. We fucking ruled that game. We were fucking having a blast. Like we did the whole fucking run, just like bow, 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 bow. And there was like a little kid watching us, and we were just fucking. It must have been like I don't know. I guess you don't see that kind of thing anymore. So maybe it was an experience for him to just see us. Or maybe he was probably just waiting to play, to be honest. But like, yeah, we were just fucking going. We were on a blast. What a great game Time Crisis 2 was. I think it was Time Crisis 2. It was a Time Crisis. But yeah, it was a great time. Yeah, it could definitely be a mixture of COVID and low sales. That's just why I'm wondering about the Sega arcades, because if you still have to put your coins in these arcade machines, I wouldn't be surprised that that's hurting business because I don't know, arcades are expensive, you know? It's very expensive to try and play some of those games if you don't just have like a flat rate. That's why most of the places that do them now are kind of like more like social gathering things where you got like you just, you know, you get your flat rate and you just play everything. Who am I and why is this recommended to me? I don't know, Malkovich. I make videos on the internet. If you want to see what I do, check out the channel. This is just kind of my Sunday late night stream, basically. Just kind of giving updates about the channel. We're working on a video about Nausicaa currently, as well as one about Fantastic Planet, which is a French animated movie. Technically related to Nausicaa a little bit. Like Nausicaa, there's some like mild references to some are very like small references. But there's like one or two things you can kind of pick up on with Fantastic Planet that are like definitely you can see a little bit, especially in the movie version of Nausicaa. But yeah, I would imagine like we're talking about the Sega arcades right now, NPR style, I guess. Yeah. So that would be interesting. You know, I'd be the guy that would listen to that though. Like if there was NPR like Sega Radio, like if there was like the equivalent, like it's SPR Radio, it's just like, hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're gonna be listening to Sega Jams all day, and we're gonna be talking about the latest Sega news. Did you know that the Sega Japan arcades are shutting down? This is an unfortunate day for Sega arcades, the most iconic. There seems to be a giant crowd of people who have surrounded the arcades in its passing to give their thanks and, you know, their say their goodbyes to this unfortunate icon of the Japanese gaming scene. In other news, Sega has been releasing a new Sonic game recently called Sonic Colors Again, but we forgot to patch it and it's still a little bit unfinished. Whoops! I don't know how we managed to do that. How does one release a 10-year-old game but in a worse state than the original version of the game in terms of its stableness? That is an interesting one to see. I hope they clean that one up a bit. I mean, I guess, yeah, YouTube's recommend me, at least I can say that much. It's strange that I always find it weird that when YouTube recommends streams, because that seems like a different kind of content. I don't know how they do that, but I guess so. Maybe it's on the sidebar or something. Are there any good radio programs on YouTube if they do any of that? I'm in Poland and I cannot understand anything on their radio. I actually don't know. Do people do radio through YouTube? Maybe someone does. I mean, I'm not familiar if they do, but they might do, because I don't follow that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like the cat wants to leave. Oh, she's not on camera today, actually, but maybe I can move I can probably get her in a good angle. Okay, cat. Goodbye, cat. Canal Jacob Canal. What am I watching? These nuts, bitch. I don't know. We're sitting down and chilling. Like, I don't know. I don't know why so many people are saying that this is coming up on their start page. I don't know how YouTube works, I'm afraid, but you clicked on it, my friend. So work it out. Sabi, why are so many people getting this recommended out of the blue? I don't know. I can't tell you. Yeah, I've gone viral. I don't know. I've only got 16 people watching. I don't know if it's gone viral, but I don't know. We're just chatting about channel updates. So I don't know if you know who I am. So I don't know if I can help you there. But we make videos about animation here usually. It's mostly anime, I guess nowadays. Although like the next two videos, one being on Nausicaa, so that's anime. But we're talking about the manga too. So it's like a bit of a mix. We'll be talking about Japanese history a little bit. We're kind of putting it into a wider context. It's kind of a documentary. And the other one is on Fantastic Planet, which is an old French movie, very strange, but has like the thing about Fantastic Planet that I find fascinating, and the reason I've always wanted to make a video on it, is the history of Fantastic Planet in itself is kind of like as wacky as the story in a way. Like, there's just a lot of insane stuff that happened during its production, and just like contextually, and the people who made it, they're just very weird, idiosyncratic like guys that are just completely off their rockers. In their own way. Very creative. Lol. Salty guys, like, share, and subscribe apparently got you spam checked. I don't know why that is, but that's pretty funny. A Satoshi Kon video. Yeah, I did the Satoshi Kon video. Well, that's I mean, the Nausicaa video that I'm planning is about 40 minutes long. It's kind of in a similar format to the Satoshi Kon video. I mean, there's going to be more videos like that in the future, although, unfortunately, I don't know, if you're not up to date, like, yeah, I'm probably going to do an update video about this soon, but, yeah, my wrist, after I made that Satoshi Kon video, I kind of did my wrist in a bit. I've been wearing a brace for the last year. My hands, it's kind of slowly getting better, but it's a really slow process, so I haven't been able to do anything. I mean, I have done videos since, and some of them have been quite big, but I haven't been able to animate as much. I think it's the problem for me personally, because like the Satoshi Kon video was like a lot of different stuff. Like, it was a lot of drawing, a lot of video editing, and there was some pretty intense animation sessions I had to do with the old tablet I had, which really fucked my wrist. There was a lot of factors to it, where yeah, this Nausicaa video has a lot of content in it as well, but it's in a similar kind of format. It is very much the biggest documentary on like Nausicaa as a thing, I would say, that there has been, in terms of official releases at least, because there really isn't like a full documentary on Nausicaa, like the manga or the movie. The movie that I own like a version of the movie, and I've seen a couple of little like features that have came with it in the past, but they don't really get too much into the production. Sometimes it gets like thrown in with like the birth of Studio Ghibli, so like there's a little bit of, and then sometimes they have like these other bits and pieces where it's just more like art historians kind of talking about the film in like a broad sense, and then maybe they'll get like a word or two from like Miyazaki and Joe Hisashi or something. But yeah, like there aren't too many on like, there's a couple of books that talk about it, but there aren't really too many any kind of featurettes that talk about how it was to do Nausicaa, what it involved, where it even came from, why he was doing a manga, why Miyazaki ended up making a manga when he's like, an anime director to begin with, and someone who, like, to quote him, once upon a time said that he gave up on manga long ago, and that he doesn't really feel he has a knack for it. I mean, yeah, if they want to recommend the voice, yeah. So now it all makes sense. Okay, well, at least we know now. Sabi, I appreciate it. I appreciate the comment. Thoughts on the new Mario movie? I mean, I I haven't watched the old Mario movie in a really long time. When I was like 10, we had, I'm pretty sure we had on VHS, the old Mario movie. I really used to like the Mario movie, but not from like a perspective. I wasn't a Mario fan at the time, but I liked the aesthetic of the film because it's like this weird, I think the set designer is literally the person who did Blade Runner. It's like it's this weird fungal Blade Runner kind of event with like strange raptor people. Like that was my jam. I was like, whoa, this is such a cool world. But like, yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. The old live action version. I don't really care about whatever Illuminal, Despicable Me company's doing with this Mario. It's very funny to see people react that like Chris Pratt as Mario, which I'm curious if he's going to be doing the Italian accent. Are they going to just play him as like he's American man? Is he going to do like a Brooklyn accent or something? Or is he going to like really put on like a strong Italian accent? I just don't know what kind of Mario they're going for because he's supposed to be from like the Bronx. So like, is he going to really like New Yorker it up, or is he going to actually try to do like the classic Italian thing we've been hearing for the last 20 years? I like Charlie Day as Luigi. I think that's a very funny casting. I mean, if they're going to make neurotic Luigi, like scared neurotic Luigi who may sniff, what would be the equivalent in Mario, like mushroom salts or whatever, that could be interesting. I mean, he's a plumber, and like that kind of fits where like Charlie Day's been playing like kind of the janitor in Always Sunny for a long time, and he spends all his time in the sewers. This could work. Because Charlie Day has like a very strong inflection, right? His voice is very specific. It's like where is it? Like his voice is really high. It's kind of like nasally at times. Where he's like, I'm Charlie Day. Yeah, he's kind of somewhere up there, right? He's like, yeah, he's doing some sort of neurotic play in there. So if that's how they're playing Luigi. Maybe there's going to be some Italian. I don't know. Again, like, are they even going to put Italian accents on? I haven't got a clue. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the wrist, I mean, it's been a year, so who knows? But like, I've seen some progress lately, but I haven't done anything too heavy duty, so it's hard to say how much progress we're talking. Well, Kunal? I mean, Kunal, I've talked about other stuff outside of anime. I used to talk about Japanese music from time to time. The issue with like the topic of Japanese music on YouTube is it's really inconsistent if it can actually like survive. Sometimes a video on Japanese music will do incredibly well out of nowhere. Usually there's like weird reasons why it will. I mean, other times depends if it's like in vogue or if it's trending, or there could be like a myriad of factors, right? It will just pick up nothing. So like it's a very dangerous like genre of like I like doing them when I can, but they're very risky videos, and sometimes they pay off, and most of the time they don't. Michael, I see you're here today. Well, nice to see you here, Michael. Oh yeah, I remember you used to be, mate. That was a long time ago, Michael. Well, I'm glad the emails helped you because what I used to do when I used to go to work in the morning, there was a period of time, I think probably when you were emailing me, you probably caught me just at the right moment because nowadays I don't check my emails too much because usually they're just full of like random shit. But when I used to, there was a period of my work time where I used to take the bus to work and I used to check my emails on the bus. So you happened to probably catch me at a very good time for me to send some emails. But I'm glad those emails helped you out when they did. I appreciate that. I think you sent some kind words if I remember right, so I hope you're doing well. How's it going, CJ? Am I wearing these glasses in real life too? Sometimes, but usually in real life, I'll probably be wearing these ones because these are my like blue screen glasses. Though they need a bit of a wipe. We need to find. I don't know where I put the proper cloth. Okay. I mean, yeah, having expectations for a Mario movie sounds like a fool's errand. Like, we've already got one Mario movie, haven't we? I don't know. I always find it funny because I imagine generally how this usually will go, right? So a Mario movie will come out, and then there'll probably be. Let's assume it's just going to be whatever, right? And there'll probably be some sort of recontextualization of the original Mario movie for being kind of like weird and different, maybe. Or you'll probably have the other side of the spectrum where there'll be just people who hate on the new movie, probably strictly from the game perspective. Or maybe you'll get people who are like, actually, no, this movie is good and it's better than this. You're gonna get like there'll be a discourse, and it's gonna be very boring because at the end of the day, it's just like a corporate Mario movie, guys. Like Nintendo let some other popular animation studio make a beat by numbers Mario movie in 90 minutes, and he's gonna fall into the Mushroom Kingdom probably. He's gonna save the princess, the baker cake maybe, and there will be mild references to the games, I guess, maybe in like the settings, but it's probably mostly gonna just be your standard fare, like adventure, Call of the Hero sort of story with two brothers, I guess. Depends how much Luigi's going to play a part. I think it's structurally it's kind of difficult to make an interesting Mario idea, I guess. You just have to be very, because the best you can hope for that is just decent. Oh, Assaultgeist, I had no idea they were even doing a Netflix Sandman adaptation. I've read some of Sandman, but I don't know if it would lend itself too well to the live action route. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it feels like it would be the right medium for it. At the risk of feeling kind of cheap and I don't know how to put it. I guess it could work quite well, but like Sandman's kind of like an anthology sort of series, so I don't know how they do that. Are they going to get like a different director per like story? Because that's if I were to assume a way that you'd make the Sandman thing, because obviously you have to like a consistent writer, but they usually got different artists per story. So I would imagine like getting a different kind of established director per Sandman story would be a good way of doing it. But I don't know if they're going to have maybe they've got the name brand recognition to get like actual directors with sort of some notoriety, even if it's in the TV world, to like do each episode or try stuff out. Maybe other film directors. Like I don't know, how big's this production going to be? I mean, Netflix has a lot of money, but are they actually going to put anything in it? Is this going to be like one of their like premiere shows, or are they just being like, oh yeah, we got Sandman now, I guess? I don't really have much expectation of it, though. I haven't read a lot of Sandman. Like, to me, that's kind of just a reminder of being like, oh, yeah, you could probably read some more Sandman sometime. I had fun with the volumes I did read. I probably have one of the volumes in the other room. But yeah, I read some in the library before. Like, I've read a couple here and there. Usually it's a good time. Well, I mean, when you said Charlie Day would make a great Mario, I think he's a perfect Luigi, because you know who should be Mario? It's Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is the perfect Mario. I don't know, like, he apparently was supposed to be Mario at one point, but I don't know why we're not talking about this. Who else could be Mario but Danny DeVito? If you're really going to get a New Yorker, I'm pretty sure he's a New Yorker, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's a New Yorker. If you're really going to get someone like that to play Mario, who better than Danny DeVito? He doesn't have to jump around or do anything. It doesn't matter how old he is. He can just be like, I guess he's going to sound kind of crusty because now he's like 70-year-old man voice or whatever. But I don't know. I think it'd be perfect. I think he's a perfect voice for Mario. Is him being the fucking trash man. I don't know. Charlie Day plus Danny DeVito would be what a combo that would be for a Mario movie. Danny DeVito's got a good voice. Like he's got such a great voice for like voiceover in general. I mean, Jack Black as Bowser sounds cool to me. Ah, Whimsy Dearest. Hello. I imagine, yeah, it'd be your vibe for the Sandman. Yeah, I think Sandman's good though, from what I've read. I do like Sandman. I should probably read more. But I mean, I hope people enjoy the adaptation. I hope it's a very well. I don't know. I imagine Neil Gaiman would have to sign off the rights, and he seems quite particular about his adaptations most of the time. So I imagine maybe he has some place in the show. So if that's the case, it could be cool. I mean, he's done some adaptations for scripts for the screen before too, so you know they could do something with that. Yeah, Jack Black playing Bowser. I think that's a fun choice. He's got a fun voice, and Jack Black knows how to like ham it up. He used to play that because I think wasn't it one of the sequels for Neverending Story. He just played like a really overt bully, like really hammy, and he's done all these other roles too. He's got a good voice too, so like I think he could be a good Bowser. I don't know how like is he going to be singing? I mean, he's probably going to be singing, right? I'm assuming that's where you get Jack Black. That's my guess at least. You'd get Jack Black so Bowser could do like a is this a musical now? Is it going to be like a musical movie? Are they going to have like juice box opera stuff? Is Bowser going to come down and start singing Queen or something? I mean, this is what I'm expecting from a movie like this. But I don't know. Maybe Bowser's just going to have like a very musical voice, just like as a tonality. Am I located in Japan? No, I'm located in my room. Music videos. What have I been listening to recently? Unfortunately, like when you're writing scripts and such, and when I'm editing a lot, I don't really get to listen to too much that's too like extreme because the lyrics distract me. So like the only things I've listened to recently have been like a lot more ambient stuff. Usually, a lot. I've been listening to like a lot of Resident Evil and Silent Hill soundtracks, or like parts and bits of them because they're very like cerebral. But I have also been listening to a bit of Fishman's recently. That was at one point like a video I thought I could do, but honestly, I just I don't have the power. I don't think I've got the power to do a Fishman's video in me. I don't think I'm the right person for their discography. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it could happen, but like the energy I once felt for doing that kind of video, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I got the stamina to quite do it the way I wanted to. There's probably someone else who's like a really diehard fan of the band. Like I do like specific albums and I like their music, but I'm not the super diehard that the community probably needs to make that kind of video. But yeah, I was listening to their one of their like, I guess it's like their last album, I guess, or the last live album they did. Really nice one. I was listening to bits and pieces. I think it's a great live album in general, but yeah, that's a nice sort of thing to put in the background when I was writing some stuff. Yeah. Do I listen to Le Rallies de Nude? I mean, I made a video on them, didn't I? Maybe Julius doesn't know that. One of my videos is called "The Bassist That Hijacked a Plane," I think it is, or hijacked an airline. I think it's the bassist that hijacked a plane. And this was before, I don't know, since I made, alright, a little chip on my shoulder at a time, because I made my video before. There was a couple other high-profile videos on the topic after I made mine, but I did mine first, okay? I wasn't the first on the scene, but I was definitely one of the, in the way I did it, I was one of the first. It's like a more complete, full-on approach that I did, but yeah, there's been 2 big videos on it since, but I've seen a lot of blowback off those and actually gained a lot of traction. But yeah, I think the Nudies is very cool. I actually have I have like a bootleg of one of their records in the other room. It's probably like live recordings. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I like the sound of it. I probably should listen to some more. Because it's been a while since I've actually sat down and listened to them. Because when you finish, when you're making a video on someone, and you have to listen to the music all the time. Eventually, you might get a bit like, okay, kind of done with the music now. I kind of want a break, so I should probably sit down. I should actually put my record on. I should put my record on and sit down and listen to it sometime soon. It's a good track. There's some good tracks on there. Especially I was having this conversation with someone the other day. You know, like a lot of the time when it comes to they're very much a live band. So like a lot of the times they have like a very different feeling and texture and like way of playing the songs that they usually play. So there's a lot of different ways you can experience it. Oh, was there actually a trailer for the Sandman thing? I would watch it on stream, but last time I did that, my internet went funny and it cut out. So I'm afraid of like trying to stream while also trying to react to a video now. It's probably fine now. I think it's just because I had bad connection then. But yeah, I'm kind of curious how Sandman looks. I guess who's playing Sandman? Wait, his name was the Sandman, wasn't it? Or is he? He's got a second name, doesn't he? I forget. What's my opinion on multimedia projects in the realm of anime? You'd have to describe what you mean by that, I guess. I'd need more, like, do you mean like media mix? In terms of like the way they sort of transfer through different sort of mediums, and it's more about the character and the brand and how the characters sort of are the piece. So when something hits a different thing, it could go like a completely different object entirely. Among other ways of, I don't know. You'd have to specify more. The Mario movie looks almost as good as Theodore Rex. What a banger. Gaming is involved, is he? That's pretty alright. Maybe it'll be cool then. Seth Rogen as DK laughing haunts my dreams. Alright, let's get the Seth Rogen laugh out, right? So if DK is eating a banana, he's probably going to be like, right? So like, I'm kind of confused how all these characters are coming into it. So like, if Donkey Kong's in the film, are they going to go like traditional Mario? Is he going to do like the Jumpman bit? Is it going to be like he has to save Pauline from Donkey Kong and then gets transferred from then into the Mushroom Kingdom? Or like, is Donkey Kong like a friend of Mario's now? Like they play tennis? I don't know how they're doing this. I don't know what the canon is. I'm very confused how because Donkey Kong doesn't usually live in the Mushroom Kingdom, right? I'm not going crazy there. Like he doesn't exist in that like place usually, but he does in New York, I guess. At one point, maybe if it is New York, I don't know. I guess it's New York because it's King Kong, right? Well, Donkey Kong. Sorry, Donkey Kong. Popeye meets King Kong. What's my favorite anime? The Sopranos. I mean, if I can, I'm not gonna buying the rest of the Sandman sounds expensive, but if I could find someone to read it, then yeah, I probably would read it. I don't know if it's gonna be well. I read a lot of it in the library, so I don't even know if that libraries are open now or not. Yeah, I think Danny declined the offer to be Mario in the 90s, and it was probably the better decision for him back then. He probably read the script and was like, "This is a piece of shit. This is fucking." I can't do it, Danny. How would you do it, Danny? You got to get really raspy, don't you? Like, I don't know. I'm too. I think I'm too divorced from Danny to get that trash man feeling through. No, I'd have to work it out a little bit more. But yeah, I imagine he looked at the script and was not too fond of it. Stanley Tucci as Hot Luigi? I don't know who Stanley Tucci is, I'm afraid. I have to look that one up. Let's have a look. Stanley Tucci? What's he been in? I feel like I've seen him somewhere, but I'm not sure who he is. Tom Hanks as Mario? That'd be a weird choice. Yeah, I mean, Charlie Marin. How do you say his name? Is it Charlie Martinet? Martinet? Um, I could see why people would choose that. I feel a bit like the really stereotypical Italian thing that he does might get a bit old if you had to play the character that exact way the whole film. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. Um, I guess that is like Mario as we know him now. But like when he's not doing just like sound bites, is that too much? Is that too much for 90 minutes? I guess it's how he does it. Is he going to tone it down? Well, no, he's not going to do it. He's not playing the character, so. But yeah, I don't think we could have expected much else because this is just how they do it. When when these big animated films come out, they get like 17 different famous voice actors and they shove them in all the key roles. I mean, I guess some of these people do have like experience though. So like Charlie Day's got plenty of experience doing like voiceover. I mean, he did the Lego film, two Lego films I think at least, and then some other stuff. Charlie Day's got a good voiceover voice anyway. Jack Black has done plenty of voiceover. He's very experienced in that area. Seth Rogen's probably done some. He's done some voiceover here and there. I imagine he'll be fine. I'm trying to remember who even else is cast. Tenacious D doing Bowser voice. Ooh. Tenacious D. I mean, I could see it. I could see a Tenacious D like, but it would be like Bowser D, right, or something like that. I could totally see him doing something like that. Jumanji. Um, Jumanji was not a musical. Is that the newer Jumanji? I haven't seen the newer Jumanji. I forget that Jack Black was actually in it. Imagine Netflix doing Berserk live action. I don't know if I'd really trust them doing that one. I think it's too big. The story gets like too wild. Like when you get beyond the golden age stuff and you start getting into like the more surreal supernatural stuff, I think it becomes too big for television in that way. Depends how you adapt it to. I don't know. You need like one of those Game of Thrones like budgets, and I don't think they'd do that. Julius, honestly, I had a thought about doing the Fishman's video, but it's I don't think it's within me, and I don't want to half-ass the video. I don't think I've got the energy for it. I think it's a really risky video, and so for me, I don't see it being like the amount of time it would take. I wonder if it would work. I'm not sure how I'd do it too much. I know that they've literally done like a documentary recently, like they've released one, like the people who are in Fishman's have done it. So like I don't know what I'm adding to the conversation by doing the video. So like I guess yeah, I don't know. It's probably not within me. Sorry. Oh, okay, Joe. So you did see the video. I mean, yeah. I mean, I made the video on them because I thought it was an interesting topic and I like the band. I've been listening to. I'm not very good at even saying it. What like Laurali's Denudi or Denudi? Is that right? Denudi. Yeah, I forget how you spell it. It's like it's gibberish in French. Um, yeah, I've been listening to LDR, right? LDR. Laurali's Denudi. Not long. Not yeah. So LRD. I've been listening to them for a while because I have a book. Once upon a time, I guess a couple of years ago, I bought a book on like underground Japanese music, and there's a chapter in there about the rallies, and I read it and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this story? And I just started like listening to them after that, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I remember being quite impressed at the time because it's like this is like late 60s, early 70s, like that's and this is like really punchy. Sounds definitely like more of like a generation or two afterwards. I was listening to a lot of loud music at the time, so I was like, yeah, I'm really into this sound. Sorry, I'm trying. Where are we at? Um, no. So I think someone asked about Visions the other day. I know there's somebody was working on a anthology video on Star Wars Visions. I haven't had the time to watch it. Maybe I will at some point. I'm like not really dying to watch it at all. I remember talking to someone about it the other day. There's kind of like a level of bitterness in me that, after Disney sells off its 2D departments, and how, once upon a time Disney got into huge fights with its 2D departments back in the 40s because their workers weren't unionized and like their pay was really shit. Unless they were like liked by the company, then their pay was much better, like Babbitt. But then when Babbitt fought on the side of the unions, they just fired all the people they didn't want who were trying to unionize, and then they called them communists and tried to get them removed by the government and the secret agencies. But ultimately, Disney lost that battle, so the animators had to be unionized. But then they throw them all away, right? And then like 10 years after they threw them all away, or I guess 11, 12 now, they decide like, okay, we're just going to contract ununionized workers from another country instead. And Disney's cycle repeats itself. They were playing like the long game there. Maybe they paid them alright. I mean, they probably paid them more than most places do, contract-wise, considering they got the money to spare. But yeah, I don't know. I would see it'd be more likely me checking it out like short by short, like just watching a short here and there. But I'm not like dying to do it. I'm busy. That's all. James Franco is Diddy Kong. Is that happening? That'd be funny. What, like a Legend of Zelda like 2D animated film? Is that what you're looking for, Sade? I don't know. I don't trust those things. I don't think that would happen, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Loralis the Nudie. Japanese, yeah, kind of Japanese. I mean, they were kind of like when they started being a band. I don't know if noise music was really even a thing. I don't know what they would have called it back there because like they kind of came in a little bit before even punk started making waves. I guess they're like proto noise or something, proto punk. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, because they're very like the sound of the rallies is kind of its own. They sounded like doom fuzz noise. I don't know what you would call it. Okay, so here's the question. Sutsui Yatsuka did in the 90s with the internet getting feedback from users that influenced the writing process. I'm not too familiar with the story, if I'm honest, though I don't necessarily think the getting audience feedback is the best way of doing something like that, but I guess as an experiment it can be quite interesting. I think doing it in the 90s too would probably be more of a novelty because it's not as big as it is now. Okay, Michael. I might have missed you already, but I hope you have a good one, Michael. You have a good day. Getting internet feed. I mean, to be fair, like getting internet feedback from users is kind of like a very common procedure on like a lot of writing websites nowadays as well. Like some of them more like Royal Road and all that. I don't know if I have any strong opinions on it, to be honest, because multimedia projects could mean a lot of different things to different people, I guess. So I'm not really sure if that one example. I mean, it's the way of most creators now, I guess, that you're gonna understand the feedback you get as you get like in a more connected society, if we want to put it that way. When you create a story, you're probably going to get feedback from it quite quickly from like just the internet in general. A lot of it's probably going to be noise, but or at least from your fan base in general, if it be emails and letters, because that's how it used to be in the back in the days as well. You get a lot of fan letters from people in the studios. If we're talking like a comic industry or whatever, a lot of them would get the feedback quite, on the weekly basis when the mail came in. Am I talking about the band that took an excavator to the concert? I don't think I am. Guys, yeah, I saw the Cowboy Bebop live action opening. I don't like it at all though. I think it works sometimes, but it generally shows the issue with like the adaptation between two mediums when you try and be at the same time additional and at the other. All right, how would you put this? You've got the same track, and that track in the original animation is like it's timed and tempoed exactly to the visuals in a like very specific way. Like you can tell, like yeah, with the original opening, like the tracks there, they know the beat for beat, the tempo where they want to go. Where like the Netflix version, it kind of keeps to that tempo, but then they start mixing up and changing things. Also, sometimes they do stuff where they're really trying to replicate the look of the original opening, but they're making it look like a fan film. Because instead of taking the concept of like, where does this opening come from? Okay, so you know maybe Lupin or these other kind of situations. But if you quote, where's Lupin getting it from? He's getting it from like Tokyo Drifter, and he's also getting it from James Bond. So you go, okay, well, how does James Bond, a live action show, do its openings? Then you look at that and you go, okay, well, we need to transfer from this thing back to this thing, but finding a middle line between these two things that isn't just attempting to copy the motions of a 2D thing in 3D and come off a little strange. And I don't know, some parts of it to me didn't really have the tempo. I mean, I think what I'll give the most credit to with the new live action Bebop opening, I think it's probably the first little bit of it. I like the full colored. They kind of start very close to the original, but then like they bring him in with the light of the cigarette, but like in like full color. Like he lights up and then the smoke comes out. I thought that was nice. I thought that looked pretty alright. And there's maybe a couple other like cuts and bits and pieces where I'm like, yeah, that looks alright. But it does feel very. This is the thing where I've seen every shot I've seen of the live action Cowboy Bebop is it feels very fan projecty. Which is funny because like Watanabe literally did like a live action short for Bebop, like years later, where like he just took the premise idea of Bebop. He didn't keep the characters, but like he understood the tempo of Bebop, and he was able to transfer it into live action without really losing much of anything. I mean, it was just like a nice little short, like it's not a big deal, not crazy or anything like that, but I think it kind of like got the gist. But time will tell. I'm not really. The premise of being interested in the live action Bebop I'm not. I don't have the energy for it. The only thing I'm remotely interested in is that it might make my videos grow a little bit more when on Watanabe, which I would appreciate. Though I'm not a huge fan of those videos, considering I like the last half of the third one, but in rewatching them, I wasn't too big on them. But they were made on very hard crunch deadlines, so. What can I do, I guess? I think the first one's kind of okay, if I remember right. So, Kevbot, there is a handful of excellent shorts from the season. Is it season? What, they're doing it again? I guess we're talking about Star Wars, right? The Star Wars Visions. Studio Trigun stuck out to me the most. They had 2, if I remember right. That being said, over the score of Beautiful Orchestrated. Yeah, I mean, I hope they scored well. Yeah, I'm just not really that invested, I guess, to check out. I mean, I haven't checked out much that's came out this year, so. There's some stuff that's came out this year that looks quite nice as well, but yeah, time is not on me. Time is not with me. My investment is not there. But yeah, I mean, I would be interested more so to see the Trigger shorts than probably the rest of them. I guess maybe the Science Sarah one, but I'm pretty sure Ed will be in the live action series. I just think they're hiding them for possibly two reasons. One would be hype, or two, they're afraid of a backlash because they have changed Ed's character too much. Those are the two ways I'm seeing it going. That they're either going like, we found they I don't know, they went into the middle of I don't know, they were actors scouting in the middle of a Saharan desert, and they found someone who happened to fit the description of Ed perfectly and acts like Ed, and they're just like, we have found the perfect Ed, and this is going to be a surprise for the viewers. And they even do weird flexible poses, and they're also actually a hacker, something like that. Or it's going to be a situation where like they've radically changed the character so much that they're just like, well, you know, it'll be a surprise. You can worry about it later. It'll be one of those two, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't think it's a movie. I think it's a TV show, isn't it? The Cowboy Bebop thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really huge. I don't think the opening has like, I don't know if that was the plan for Netflix. They were like, all right, guys, you got to check out this opening, and you're going to think it's a great. And I watched it, and I was like, no, not really. This is exactly what I expected. It kind of like a half-hearted attempt to be Bebop, but also not. Which I don't know. Like, are they actually literally planning on like redoing the episode shot from shot? Because if that's actually what they're planning to do, that's going to be fucking awful. Jesus Christ, what a tone-deaf approach that would be if they just tried to do every episode of Bebop, but in live action, like shot for shot. Could you imagine? It'd be, what a terrible choice. Hey. Okay, yeah, Inks manga. I think they've released Visions already, right? It's already on like Disney Plus. I mean, I don't have Disney Plus, so that's why I'm in a rush to see such a thing. But yeah, I mean, if you want to check it out, I'm sure they look very polished from what I've seen of the shorts. They look good. Like, they look nice. I don't think anyone's complaining about the visual quality for sure. They're definitely going to be flashy. Yeah, I mean, Fate's a cartoon, so like I don't expect Salo. Yeah, I don't really expect someone who is a cartoon to like adapt perfectly into real life. It doesn't really work that way, does it? You know, what can you do? Like, you know, I don't think necessarily what's his name? Is it Cho? The person playing Spike. He's not exactly as I would imagine Spike. Mainly because he's like twice as old as him, which is. But I mean, I guess he knows martial arts, so there's that. But what are you gonna do? Usually they make them younger. In this situation, he's just twice as old. It's a different choice, I guess. But I guess they thought he was the best for the job. Wait. Sorry, I'm confused here. Am I, HFC World, what are you talking about when you say Part 4 movie? What Part 4 movie? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. But, okay. Foundation. Soldier Ghost. What is Foundation? I don't know what you're talking about. Again, I'm lost. I mean, Moat Bag. Yeah, I mean, the idea of like an old man Spike could be a cool story. I mean, there's certainly something there, but I don't think that's what they're going for, right? I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be the same as the one in the series that's in reference to. So they just happen to, I guess they just picked a named actor, right? Just like he's got, at one point in time, had brand recognition, though it's from Harold and Kumar, so it's, I guess it's quite a different role he was playing in that. I don't know if he's been in anything since. Foundation, the TV show novel adaptation. Foundation. Is that like a sci-fi show or something? I'm not familiar with the novel. Okay, so Foundation. Oh, written by David S. Goyer. That's I don't know. That's pretty suspicious. David S. Goyer. I don't trust that. Oh, so it's Asimov. Okay, so it's gonna be some really sci-fi stuff. Yeah, yeah. I don't think they're gonna specifically go for I'm a 50-year-old man. I mean, I remember hearing that he like damaged his foot on set, and that's what like postponed the whole production, which is a bold choice. I mean, I'm guessing then he's doing his own stunts, the main character, the main guy playing Spike, or like it was just an unfortunate accident. But it's quite bold to let your like main actor, the one you can't shoot with, do their own stunts in such a way which could completely destroy production 100% and postpone everything. It's bold to do that. It's not necessarily very smart for a television show, especially, but bold. It's a bold choice. Now, I guess that depends if that was an intentional choice or if it was just an accident that happened on set. From I don't know, like when you're in a television show like that, you got to run around a lot. Let's see. So Moat Bang says that. But the live action Bebop is a little endearing to me because of how potentially campy it could be if they were trying to capture the goofier side. There's a possibility there for sure. It would be about the balance between those two elements, where you want to go. I do think that I know a lot of people sometimes say stuff like, you can watch Bebop if you don't even like anime or whatever, but it still kind of pertains itself to like an animated production. So when I see stuff on the screen, like the wild, like the circus episode, with the wild character in that, or the bomber character, there's a lot of factors you see in the opening of this Bebop like live action thing, and I'm seeing it and I'm like, I don't know if that works. I don't know if that works quite. Like, I don't know how you're going to transfer that, because you're not working within the parameters of what Bebop did, where Bebop was very like chopped up pieces of lots of influences, and then shaken up, and then thrown at you in a very high velocity 20-minute package, where this Cowboy Bebop, because it's a Netflix show, is likely going to have episodes that are going to be 45 minutes long. So now they're already twice as long as the originals, and then they need to figure out how to bring whatever they're doing in that period of time, and how they're going to tell these stories without them being just a pastiche of what was done in the anime, but also I don't know. Are they going to completely regard where the anime got its ideas from? Like there are certainly like some pretty obvious ones, like Robert Rodriguez, right? With some of his earlier sort of things, and blaxploitation, westerns, like Lupin itself, among whatever, I don't know, Space Cobra, etc. Where is it coming from? A lot of American references, like to Bruce Lee and other movies. Huh. U2 service. Yeah, I mean, Asimov is a little bit old school. Salo. So, a writer from a different age. Hot take. Wouldn't HSC? How is so? You wouldn't mind a Big O anime, as in like another one? Is that a hot take? They made like 2 seasons, didn't they? I haven't seen much of it since I was a child. I'm not that familiar. I watched a little bit when it was on television, but it was a little weird for me at the time. Oh, live action. Okay, so live action movie. Um, I don't really see the purpose of a live action Big O movie though. Who's making it? That would be my question more so. I'm more interested in who's making it than the idea of the premise. Timing animation is what Bebop makes it work. So it'd be a hard time seeing it in live action. Yeah. There's like the factor of who's animating it too, because they got like the Bones Boys on it, you know? They had like God, what's his name? Like a lot of like the most iconic like fight scenes in Bebop were done by like Bones veterans, because they all left to make Bones afterwards. And I remember Watanabe, one interview was like, yeah, he's like the Jackie Chan of action animation, because he'll get a storyboard and he'll just like improv on top of the storyboard, and like he'll just figure ways of adding little bits and pieces in. And because he hits it, like, you know, he hits his deadline, so like they're not going to stop him, because that's kind of how the system works over there. Where like in America, the system might be that no, you know, you need to follow the storyboard exactly. They were a lot more loose over there, because, you know, if what he did was better than the storyboard, then it's fine, go for it. And usually, I guess it would have been. But yeah, I feel that's going to be a hard transfer unless they really want to lean into like very solid compositional fight scenes and martial arts. Like they want to like compete with like the best of martial arts films, which is a bold proposition. And then also I guess they have to compete with the best of shootouts too, because again, like Bebop hits so many different areas that are very difficult to like all pull off. Like, I don't know, like this isn't John Wick, you know? Who's shooting this? Who's the stunt coordinator? Who's working on this? There's a lot of factors there. I think I've already talked about Naoko Yamada leaving KyoAni at one point, though I feel like it's a bit over accentuated to say that she's leaving for Science Zero, rather that she's just not working at KyoAni at this current point, and as a director she has moved to a different animation studio, which is unbelievably common in the industry. Even though once upon a time Yamada might have said that she wasn't interested in doing that, things change. Like, you know, when you might have some post-traumatic stress from the whole studio you used to work at burning down because of a maniac, like maybe you want to have some space from that studio after that. Maybe that's would be one of my assumptions, or maybe just like any director in anime, you decide to work at multiple different studios. Whoever gives you the best deal, that's also a thing that could be happening. Maybe you're making space for the people that you've trained at KyoAni, because it's so goddamn competitive, and some of the talent has also been leaving to go to different studios because they can't break way into actually doing something like more creative that isn't following other people at KyoAni. So maybe they're making more space for other people to rise up and become their own sort of stars at Kyo, because Kyo is more of a name than it necessarily is specifically the directors. I guess Yamada's probably the closest thing they have to a name. But yeah, I don't think too much about it. I don't think it's a huge deal. It's only a huge deal because of the weird situation Yamada... Wait, it is Yamada, right? I'm not saying her name wrong, am I? No, it's Yamada. She's a rare character who has stayed in her studio for basically the whole of her career, which is usually not the norm. Unless you're like Miyazaki, right? Where it's your studio. You founded it. Or, let's say, Hosoda with his studio, like Chizu. Yeah, like when you make a studio, you're probably going to stay with it. Probably. Unless, I mean, you could be like Moriyama, right? You could be like, you made Madhouse and then you left. And then you made Mappa and then you left. That can happen too. But that's a producer. That's different. Kusan, have I came across any videos on the effects of the bubble economy crash on the anime industry? Maybe a significant decrease on less profitable avant-garde. I would not trust a single video on that topic, for the most part, unless they actually could source what the fuck they're talking about, because I would hate nothing more to see someone navel gaze their way through that fucking situation, because most of that information is so like backdoor that most people, unless they work in the industry, would actually be able to give you concrete examples of that happening. You can kind of see like, alright, so this is a difficult point, right? Because yeah, during the bubble economy, you can kind of see that like when it comes to OVAs, they kind of just, there was a lot of shit greenlit. It's just like a lot of shit that was greenlit. But you have to also consider that production on anime has never really decreased. Since like 1989, the number of anime coming out each year has basically always increased. So the production has always been widening. But you could argue perhaps that like the production of maybe OVAs or whatever, they're not like as lavish. But again, like money is a factor that doesn't define the quality of animation. It tends to define the quality of resources, the amount of people you can have in production, and other things, other assets like this. So like it's not always the case that the more money, the better something looks. Now, again, with like the idea of the avant-garde stuff, you've got to think about where the avant-garde stuff's coming from and where it went. And it could have just went because, alright, avant-garde anime doesn't make any fucking money. Angel's Egg almost killed Oshi's career. Like, a lot of the times, these avant-garde like pieces that I guess lauded in certain scenes now, because of the internet and it's much easier to get hold of them, they didn't make a profit. Like we can guarantee that in some ways, of like a director saying like, yeah, this didn't make any money. It's because most anime doesn't make money. It's rarer for anime to make good money than it is for it to not. So I don't know if I've seen any videos on it, but again, I would absolutely not fucking trust them, because it would all have to be conjecture, unless they can cite me direct sources from people in the industry, producers, directors, even directors. Like they don't know everything that's going on in the studio. They know what happened to them, from like an anecdotal perspective. But yeah, you need to be able to cite me some real sources, and I just wouldn't fucking trust you for making that video, because it would have to be overview shit. It'd have to be like assumptions. Like I don't know where you could get that information from. Like what would you be reading? Because as far as I'm aware, there isn't anything like any major sources on it outside of like, yeah, if you could find some old producers or old studio heads talk about how easy or hard it was to get those things. You can find people talk, especially directors, talk about how hard it was to greenlight original ideas after the crash of 2008. Like I've seen Watanabe talk about that, like and you'll probably see other people talk about it, and even you can kind of see a difference in the landscape a little bit at times. But like yeah, after the DVD, first thing first, right? DVD boom stopped, and then there was the market crash. There were like two-prong attack. Those things happen. And then like, yeah, it's a lot harder to get like original things greenlit, and maybe you could see like Gonzo, is it? Is it Gonzo? Or am I thinking of like Manglobe? Like Manglobe stops doing like original shows and they move into like adaptations. And you can kind of see you could make some arguments there, but you don't know. You honestly don't know. I can point at a couple of things and go, I might be seeing correlation, but I don't know because I wasn't there. And I don't think anyone making a video on YouTube who's speaking English would be able to give a very good reason about the bubble economy and how it affected anime in like the broad sense, if they weren't citing directly from someone who experienced it or knows the industry or metadata or etc. I don't know. Too much conjecture. Marco, thank you for the kind words. Sorry, I went on a tangent there for a while. I mean, adaptations, live action adaptations are the way for popular things. So, as much as anime adaptations tend to be bad, you can expect plenty more of them to happen as long as anime or specific anime are successful. It is just the nature of these things. It's been happening for an incredibly long time, but usually bad or forgettable or dumb versions tend to be forgotten or left as relics of the past. You know, like as we don't talk about live action Fist of the North Star anymore, or we don't really talk about Dragon Ball Evolution anymore. Yeah, these things just sort of fade away. Spence, in terms of Akira Kurosawa's discography, I don't know if there's actually a easy way to go with it because there's just so much of it. But like, I think just look at the titles and pick the one that you think's the most interesting. I mean, you could do it chronologically if you wanted to. You could go from earliest if that's how you want to go about it, because you can kind of see how things change over time. But I think everyone's going to have a different preference. Like, I like Ran, but I probably wouldn't say you should start with Ran because it's a much later film in his discography. A lot of people start with Seven Samurai because it's probably his most popular film, I believe. I mean, you might start with something smaller like Yojimbo because it's only like 18 minutes or whatever, and then go into Sanjiro, the sequel, which is probably better than the original, actually. I like Throne of Blood quite a lot. And there's also things like Rashomon. Rashomon's a very important film. Don't know if I was a huge fan of Rashomon as an idea, but like the structure of Rashomon has become such a like synonymous thing, especially in the TV landscape. It's hard to escape it now. So so you got to give it some credit there. And like the way Rashomon's done is actually a little bit more abstract because they don't really give you any answers. Usually, a television show equivalent of like the Rashomon, which is usually like 4 different perspectives on the same event, or 3 different perspectives on the same event, will kind of give you a summary or like a conclusion at the end where you find out what the true path was or whatever, or close enough. Where Rashomon doesn't really do that. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really what you're into, because again, sometimes to me, the hardest thing with Akira Kurosawa stuff is usually finding it. Like, I bought most of my Akira Kurosawa like physically, because yeah, I don't even know if you can download that stuff, on the internet from the high tides. Maybe you can, some of it. Some of the more popular ones, maybe, but yeah. Most people's default answer would probably be Seven Samurai, but I think it's more about what your preference is. Like, maybe you want to watch some of this crime stuff, like Drunken Angel or High and Low, etc. Redbeard. It's too much of it. Oh, Brooks. We have a chat from Brooks here. Thank you very much, Brooks. Sorry, where was I on the chat? I'll go right into I'll read this one. Hey man, hope all is well. Just bought Devil Man on DVD. Oh, nice. Did you see this is England this week? No. I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna. No, I've not had the time to. Still working on these videos. I've got no time to be watching films that aren't like the films I'm making videos on. No, well maybe at some point we will, but I have not any time soon, I'm afraid. But yeah, the Nausicaa video is almost done. The Nausicaa video is very much almost done. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the guest part. So I think in total we're looking at 39 minutes maybe, give or take. Yeah, so some people in the chat are recommending Seven Samurai straight away, so. But yeah, I mean, I do like his late films too. I've got Dreams. I think Madadayo I have not seen myself, though maybe I will sometime. Ran is Ran's probably my favorite, as someone's saying in the chat there. Cello. Yeah, I think you can find your way. I'm a bit confused what you mean here by cello. Do you mean that live action productions get animators to make avant-garde stuff for them? I'm not sure what you mean here when you're talking about avant-garde animation. I don't get that point. What happened to Gonzo? I don't know. They probably went under. Who knows? They're probably in the debt. Or they don't have the animators anymore. It's hard to say. Well, it's a little bit late, isn't it, to do investigative journalism on something like that when it's been like. The thing about investigative journalism, you kind of need to do something when it's fresh. It would be a little bit harder to do that now, 40 years removed from like how these things are affected. Because obviously, like, yeah, the bubble economy bursting affects everything, but how that affects stuff is the question for historians and people who worked in it would definitely take someone who speaks fluent Japanese, absolutely, to give you like the right answers. That isn't just like, well, this year this many weird films came out, and then the next year this many weird films. Like that's bad data. Yeah, and the things change in general, right? Like you'd have to like take into consideration like you need things like sale numbers. You need to know like, well, in general, how well of like rent, and a lot of this has to do with renting as well. Like, how good was renting doing in like the 90s after the burst of the bubble, right? Did renting suddenly just really drop, which would then make it less incentivized for the companies to want to do these OVAs, unless it's like popular franchises. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of. And then also, like, it takes several years to get production underway anyway. So, like, we're talking a couple years behind too, unless the funding gets, like, pulled. Real life avant-garde producers. Okay, cat's coming in. Avant-garde producer. Okay, cat. Not only like, not stuff like Tom Cruise manga based maybe. Do you mean like? I'm getting very confused here still. Do you mean like avant-garde movies as in live action avant-garde movies, opposed to avant-garde live avant-garde animation movies? Yeah, Seven Samurai. I mean, if you can find Seven Samurai and High and Low, that's both pretty good choices. You were talking about kitchen sink dramas. I see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the right person for kitchen sink dramas, though. I'm gonna be really honest there. Yeah, I don't think it's my thing. Oh, £2 there. But Shane Meadows movie R. What you should movie R? You made a film called R. Shane Meadows movie R. What you should watch. I'm so confused. There's a movie called R. Now I'm really confused. Oh, okay. R, as in like I should be watching them. It's like I should. Um. There's quite a few of them. I don't know. I don't even know where to find them, to be honest. They're just very bleak. I don't know. It's like I live England. I don't need to fucking experience that kind of England. Or live in working class England. Yeah, rest in peace. How would I say it? Eiichi Yamato? He died today, I think, or he died recently. It's been reported today. It's really unfortunate. The director between... Well, he was a Mushi Pro director, so he worked on Life on the Street Corner, which I'd seen, and then he worked on the Free Annie Rama trilogies. Then later on, you'll see him do The Sensualist, and I know he did a short recently, and I think he's probably worked some other places too. Obviously, very prolific, worked a lot of Mushi Pro stuff back in the day. Obviously a talented man. Thanks, Sir Brooks. I hope you have a good one. Marco. Yeah, I mean, it might be. Well, the doctors haven't really confirmed me, Marco, what's wrong with my wrist. I assume it's carpal tunnel. It's been about a year. It's like all up there. Sometimes in here, sometimes there. It's been getting a little bit better recently, but I haven't pushed it too hard, so it's hard to say. Like, we haven't done anything too extreme. Outside of like I mean, I was feeling it a little bit more when I was drawing more with a couple of weeks ago for the Nausicaa video, but you know, things have settled down a bit since. I've only been like typing, maybe a little bit of editing, like with a mouse here and there. But I've got a couple of sideways mouses now, and that they're not as strenuous to use. So yeah, it's been going alright. But yeah, it could be carpal tunnel, repetitive strain injury. It's some sort of injury on my wrist, a long-term one. It makes it hard to put a lot of weight on it. Grip things sometimes, draw. Sometimes it makes it hard to twist, you know, etc., etc. Apparently, there's nothing wrong with my nerves. That's all I know so far. Yeah, I mean, everyone should be checking out Kurosawa. To be fair, I've said it before. I would probably do a video on Kurosawa. That's definitely a video I would like to do. Just to be very, very time consuming, because it'd be hard enough to find all those films for one. Like I said, they're hard to track down. Yeah, he did a lot of them, especially in the early days. Okay, have a good one, Spence. Yeah, rest in peace. How do I pronounce his name again? Oh dear. Rest in peace, director of Belladonna of Sadness. Nice cat in the box. Oh yeah, I guess that's the... Well, my cat's kind of like in a box, I guess. Wait a minute. Maybe I need my emote. My cat emote. Let's go. Yeah, she meows. should be watching. Maybe one day. Yeah, Criterion's very expensive, especially if you don't live in America, where they don't necessarily release a lot of Region 2 stuff. I guess nowadays regions are dead, so maybe you can just watch them anywhere, but you got to get the next generation of whatever it is. Yeah, to be fair, I don't even know if you can find Kurosawa on the high tides, though, can you? You might be able to find some of them. It's just like he's done so many films that are like very obscure, so I don't think they'd have much seeds. But I've never really looked, I guess. Maybe his popular films are, though. Oh, another one. Chris Knott did the animation for Miss Potter. I don't know what Miss Potter is, so I can't help you, I'm afraid. Is that a film? Oh, was it like a 2007 film, eh? 2006? Didn't even know there was animation in it. Well, I've not heard of the film. I mean, in 2006, I was like 10, though, so what'd you expect? Yeah, I mean, if I mark out the thing is, Marco, even if I didn't talk about each film, I would probably still need to watch them just for the context and trying to figure out the broader Kurosawa thing. I might condense down what I'm talking about them, but I would totally it would, yeah, I'd feel still that like it would be best to watch all of them to kind of get a broader picture of Kurosawa, even if I am condensing down my thoughts very quickly. But yeah, I'm probably not going to go through every single film like one by one, but there are going to be moments where there's going to be portions where you're going to need to talk about this film, like Rashomon, because Rashomon was like a big deal for him, especially when it comes to the international side of stuff. So that's great. It's great that Rashomon did that and that it got its name out there. And then obviously from there, a myriad of other films he did, which did well. I guess for him, I mean, Kurosawa's films never made like a huge amount of money. They're more known for their prestige. I think the biggest films he did were in his later career, like Kage Musha and all that. Yeah. But yeah, so like films like Seven Samurai, Rashomon, maybe even like the situation with Yojimbo and like the copyright law stuff. Later on, there'll be films like his USSR film in 1976. Then there'd be like Kagemusha, again another very big point. Then Ran. Then some of his later films. So yeah, there's gonna be like really big defining films for him to talk about. And there'll probably be more information that yeah, that's probably a topic in there somewhere. It's just it's a fucking lot. But I think I really like Kurosawa's films a lot and the energy that he displays. So I could see myself dedicating myself to do it, even though I'm not a film channel, and there is a risk to it. But I feel like there's enough crossover appeal that I could get away with it. Maybe when I'm a bigger channel, but yeah. Ah, Michael Allen, thank you very much for the kind words. I'm doing my best. Hopefully new videos coming out soon. Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of The Idiot before, Marco. You found it hard to find animators on it? I mean, sometimes it's hard to find animators. Ah, thank you for the £5. I should watch episode 1 and 2 of The World of Peter Rabbit and Friends. Is it a documentary or is it a television show? Is it an animation? I mean, I read Peter Rabbit when I was like a very small child, but I haven't paid it much mind since, I'm afraid. I know that there was a very successful movie that came out recently, because I used to work at a cinema, and I remember them preparing for Peter Rabbit 2 because they were expecting it to do gangbusters, and then COVID happened and it never came out. Maybe it's came out now, but not when I was working there. Brooks, maybe one day we'll get there. I don't know. Where am I going to find them, though? I don't even know where to look. I'd do it. Peter Rabbit is great. I mean, I read it back in the day, the Peter Rabbit, but yeah, it's a kid's book, right? Wait, so what movies in particular are we talking about? Are we talking about Kurosawa or are we talking about Chris? Or whoever else we were talking about, the This Is England person. Okay, if you've got to go with Brooks, you have a good one, alright? Oh, to be fair, Marco, it's not too far from midnight over here, so that's fair enough. You need to go to bed. I'll probably be leaving soon enough. I'm noticing the time on here is ticking along. It's almost been 2 hours, which is a little bit. When it hits 12 o'clock, I probably should go to bed, though. I probably should go to bed. Again, my body's a little bit weak. I should probably cut it short today a little bit. Around 12. I think that's a reasonable time to stop streaming. Though I appreciate all the money today, Brooks. Thank you very much. I'll make sure it gets back in the videos, for sure. It's on DVD. It's an adaptation of Beatrix Potter's work. Okay, so they're animations. I mean, finding the DVDs is easier said than done, isn't it? I mean, the animation could be really cool. I think, especially if it's later on. If it came out did it come out recently or not? Is this like 90s or is this oh, you've probably already gone by now. Or have you not? Sorry, I don't know. Perfect Day is a nice soundtrack. No, it's in HMV. Is it okay? Maybe it depends how expensive they are. Are they new? Are these new things? Am I able to find Beatrix Potter animation? Alright, oh, okay. It's on YouTube, apparently. The World of Peter Rabbit and Friends, 117 minutes. Oh, wait, complete collection. Alright, they're on YouTube, okay. Okay. From 1992, I see. Well, maybe when we finish these videos, these double, triple videos, we'll have a look at it. The animation looks pretty nice, from what I can tell at least. They've very much captured a style which is pretty difficult because it's quite articulate. $19.93 animation, yes. Looks like I found it on YouTube at least, so that might save me some time. Scaramuzi? Yeah, so if someone's just left, I'll catch them in a bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's quite long, so maybe I'll have to take it a piece by piece because the full version of the collection is 4 hours long. That's very long. I guess it's a whole season, so maybe it's like segmented. But Mr. Brooks, I do believe you have to go, don't you? It's probably getting quite late over there, and I'm probably going to leave soon as well. Would I consider myself a film buff? Probably not. These days, when I was younger, I spent a lot of time watching films. Like from the age of 16 onwards, there was like several years where I watched a lot of films, and I was very adamant in it. And I've got a background in like moving image and that sort of stuff. So like it was, I enjoyed it. I liked the visual style, and being an art guy myself, like it was useful to look at different things and finding what I liked. But nowadays, I don't watch too much because I spend most of my time making videos. So like the stuff I'll tend to watch relates to the videos I'm doing. I don't tend to sit down too much to watch stuff. If I'm gonna watch something, usually my philosophy with it, like if I'm gonna sit down and watch like a movie, and that's just something I'm really interested in watching. I'll watch stuff with friends. Again, COVID made that kind of impossible though, unless I'm watching it over the internet. But yeah, I feel like if I'm watching something, I prefer to be sitting down with friends to watch it or experience it. I think that's nicer to me. If I'm gonna like not be working, I prefer that like idea. So like it's in their hands what we watch. That's usually how I feel about it. But like I used to sit down and watch a lot of weird films, especially with good pals. I'd sit down and just watch weird shit. Usually, oh, you can have tired. Usually it's good time. Usually good time. But yeah, I mean, I've watched films, but it's not my like background. Well, I've worked a lot on film, but like I'm more on the animation side. But yeah, I wouldn't say being I wouldn't consider myself a film buff because I don't think I've really watched enough, especially recently. So like I think I've seen a couple. I've seen a fair few films, but not enough for me to consider myself a huge expert outside of like a couple directors that I've watched a fair bit of. There's only Manchester. Manchester can be scary. Well, actually, Manchester's a very nice place, to be fair. I'll have a look at well, if I remember, I'll watch the Peter Rapper thing, but I need to finish my videos first. Yeah, work. I mean, work takes a lot. Yeah, for a while, because there were some days I remember, like in between like college or like between like going from one thing to the other, there might have been days where I would just spend the entire day watching films or documentaries or something, just because I had nothing else like to fill that time, and I was going a little stir crazy. It's like I just watch stuff, but that doesn't really happen much anymore. Friends are great. Well, I mean, not the television show, but Friends. People I know. I've seen It's a Beautiful Day. This is a cool one. Though I'm more a fan of The World of Tomorrow. Ralph the Movie Maker. Oh wait, is who's Ralph? Who's Ralph the Movie? Is Wreck It Ralph? Oh, is Ralph? Is he a YouTuber? Ralph the Movie Maker? I don't know him too well. To be fair, Brooks, I do like watching weird films. Um, have I seen With Nail and I? With Nail and I? I'm not familiar with it. I don't think. With Nail and I. 1987 comedy. No, I'm not familiar with this one. Again, it's probably because I don't really spend too much time in like the British film canon. I don't know. Living here is enough. Watching films from people who fucking live here is it's too much for me sometimes. No, this looks alright though. Black comedies. I mean, I can't like black comedies sometimes. Sometimes. Sorry, where were we? I mean, yeah, I think movies are good. Like, and anime, obviously. But, you know, I think there's a lot of media, like music, anime, movies, etc. It's all good. It's all good. Um, I'll see if I can, if I remember to check out the Peter Rabbit thing, I'll try. I mean, I remember watching Thomas the Tank Engine when I was younger, anyway. And I don't think you're bothering me. Don't worry. I mean, I thought you were the one who needed to go to bed. I think I said that earlier. But yeah, like, if you need to go, you need to go. But that's up to you, Brooks. I will try and check the things out. Okay. Hernandez, you have a good one. YouTuber. Okay. Okay. Richard E. Grant. Oh, is this the movie we're saying? Yeah. Streaming. Okay. I'm I didn't even know if I was going to stream today because I was tired, and I was like, I don't know if I've got the energy for it. I don't know, I'm a bit of a recluse. Talking to people takes energy. But like I don't know. I feel that like streaming more would remove time I have to make videos, and I don't focus particularly well as it is. So unless I was making videos on stream, which easier said than done, to be honest. It depends on what I'm doing. Like drawing on stream is easy enough. Maybe editing on stream wouldn't be too bad, but the logistics of doing some things for a video on stream just don't seem like they'd be very good for me. So I don't tend to take them as a good idea. But like yeah, I feel like making videos is priority over. I'm not a streamer like default. The streaming I do is generally more for the community and sitting down and to decompress a little bit. That's how I look at the streams. So you know that's why they're like Sunday streams. You know, they're kind of supposed to be like relaxed and chilled. So With Nail and I is a great comedy. So it's not bleak, but it says it's black comedy though. If I could find it, maybe. All right. Yeah, I need to see World of Tomorrow 2 and 3. I know someone was saying about Stalker last time. Cameron's bringing it up here. Because that's the prequel to the video game series, am I right? The fucking gamer show. I mean to watch more Taranowski. Taranowski? I watched Solaris at least. Oh damn! There's a Criterion collection of Stalker. That's pretty cool. Okay, so all right, I'll trust you with that. I'll trust you. If With Nail and I is not chilled and relaxed, I will be very distressed. Wait, I'm gonna Google this right now. Can I just find the film on the internet somewhere really quickly? I cannot. I can find Roger Ebert's website. Look at it. You seem to like it. A side effect of alcoholism. Okay. A side effect of alcoholism is my thumbs have gone weird. 4 stars from Roger Ebert. Well, I guess he liked the film. He said it was great. There's a DVD on Amazon, I guess. That's pretty cheap. You should get it on Prime Video, and there's a Blu-ray. I get it on VHS for £2. I haven't got a VHS player anymore. That would be no good for me. Questions. Actually, this. Oh, this is Arrow Film. Actually, this is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool Blu-ray version with Nail and I. It's got a nice cover by looks like the Fear and Loathing artist did the cover. Yeah, that looks cool. Maybe I can get it on eBay. $2K restoration, uncompressed audio commentaries. So there's a lot of stuff here. Interesting. Let's see. Kusan got pretty burnt out on films and docs after binging Adam Curtis. Is he the director? English documentary filmmaker. Yeah, I mean, maybe don't binge too much then. I'm looking through the list of stuff. Have I seen any of his stuff? The Living Dead. It doesn't. None of this is ringing a bell for me. There's quite a lot of it here though, so I've no wonder. MK Ultra, jeez. Maybe I saw his Untitled thing with Massive Attack. I might have seen that. Yeah, Solaris is cool. British. Okay, yeah, my favorite British film. Nice. They are literally in YouTube. They were. Which things were on YouTube? All right, Brooks. Okay. The price of a DVD just went right up. Jesus Christ, it just skyrocketed. Brooks, did you just buy? Did you cut me under? Because the price of the price of one of these was a lot cheaper a second ago. All right. Well, here's the question, Brooks. Do I get the DVD or do I get the Blu-ray? I'm feeling like buying the DVD because I'm cheap. But I guess I do like Arrow Film, so maybe I should get the Blu-ray. But, you know, if I buy it, I'd rather not buy it on Amazon. Because I'd have to get 20 quid of stuff to buy it on Amazon. Maybe I can check out if I can get it somewhere else. There is a DVD. Questions. Okay, so the DVD. So I should get the DVD, but the 3-disc version. Okay, or 2-disc version. Okay, all right. I'll get the. Okay, I think I can see it here. The 3-disc version on World of Books. There's a website here. It's 3-disc version, and it's 7 quid. I think I've used World of Books before. Have I? I think I have. Maybe I might be able to get secondaries from somewhere else. Okay. Alright, alright. Alright then, I'll get it. I'll wait a minute. I'll sort it out now. I'm pretty sure if I mean, I'll make an account if I need to. Wait, it better have free postage though. Got free postage on this website? We just continue to check out. I'm probably not going to buy it exactly this moment, but I just want to. Oh, wait, okay, it's free deliveries to the UK. All right then. I'm just going to check these coupon codes. Oh fuck, one of those coupon codes actually worked. Ha 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 ha. Now I'm going to buy it for $6.29. Look at that. I win. Look at that. I'm getting a deal on an already cheap DVD. Okay. Okay. Alright then. It's in the basket. I'll buy it after stream. I mean, the amount of money you gave me tonight, that should probably cover it. I'll watch it, alright? You win. Yeah, I did a Massive Attack. Not Mass Attack. I think it's Massive Attack. Yeah, I saw them once live in Bristol. They played a festival not a while ago. It was raining a lot, but it was pretty right. I think it was pretty good. I was just very tired, again, because I'd been standing up all day. But yeah, it was nice. But I was absolutely soaked by the end, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Massive Attack. Portishead? Yeah, I know the Portishead, the band. Well, I know the Portishead, the location and the band. Portishead is good. I do like Portishead. Yeah, I mean, I used to listen to a ton of Actually, fun fact, the first CD I ever bought was Portishead because I didn't buy CDs. I bought one from the charity shop I worked at the time. It was like £1, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is Dummy by Portishead, so why not buy? It's probably an old copy, it's probably from the 90s. Why not just buy it? It's like £1, why not? I like this album. So here it is, I have it. I don't know if I've actually listened to it off the CD ever though, because I've always had rips. But I do have the CD somewhere. I could probably shove it in a PS3 and listen to it if I wanted to. I mean, that's connected to the speakers, I could probably do that. I'd have to flip a couple things, but yeah, I could do that. Sit down and listen to... It's been a while since I listened to Dummy. So that would be a nice thing to do. There's also the fact of... Thank you very much, Brooke. That's very kind of you, Brooks. That's very, very kind of you. I will definitely... Alright, after the stream, Brooks, I'll buy the film, and... just for you, okay? When I finish these 2 videos, when Nausicaa is done, when Fantastic Planet is done, and I'm taking a slight breather for a second, a moment of respite between projects, I'll actually watch it when it comes in the post. I'll make an attempt to watch it, and hopefully not fall asleep, because I do that a lot when I'm watching film. Another reason it's hard for me to watch films is if I watch anything after like 9 p.m, I will fall asleep. Oh, actually, speaking of which, now we're talking about films. I did actually watch a film, unrelated, the other day. I might have mentioned it in the last stream, I don't know. I watched Nosferatu 1979 by Werner Herzog. I finished it. I did finish it. I think I might have fell asleep somewhere in it though, so maybe I missed a bit, but yeah, some of the lighting in that was really good. Some of the shots really interesting. There was some pretty fascinating stuff about it, though I'm not familiar with the original, I'm afraid. I never got to watch the original. I probably should have, to be honest, but I don't know how similar it is to that. But like I know the Dracula story quite well. I've seen different variations of Dracula, a fair few bits, and yeah, it hits the beats. I think the most interesting part for me about Werner Herzog, can I get my Werner voice going? My Werner Herzog voice. The most interesting thing to me about Nosferatu was the ending when the main character becomes the vampire. It is like the cycle of violence. He becomes the thing that he went... Well, he wasn't actually hunting, but he became the thing that did so much damage to him and killed his own wife. she sacrifices herself, and it's all like for nothing, because now he is but the same man, and the cycle maybe then continues again. Rough premiere dates. I do not have any rough premiere dates, I'm afraid, because I'm waiting on an associate, but I'm hoping by maybe the beginning of October, Nausicaa will be done and coming out, and then ideally a week later, the Fantastic Planet video comes out. It's like 7 days afterwards would be my ideal. I'm not sure if those things are going to happen that way, but that's my goal, would be the beginning of October, and then the week after, whenever the first video comes out. That's my goal. Heavy posh accent, wow. But yeah, if it's good luck and good night for real this time, Brooks, thank you so much for the donations. I don't drink, but I'll make sure to, I don't know, buy something nice to drink. I don't know. I don't drink alcohol though, but I'll find something to drink. Yeah, I still use my fat PS2 as well, because it's connected to my like big speakers and my projector. Yeah, well, you say Werner, right? That's the German W is Werner, right? Werner Herzog. Yeah, 70s Nosferatu is interesting. It's probably worth a watch just for the novelty of it, at least. World of Books is like a website, as far as I know. 1922 Nosferatu, though. I mean, from what I've seen, it's pretty interesting, Henry. Though I'm not. The thing with the 1922 version. All right, this is kind of this is a chip on the shoulder I have about the 1922 version, is that I missed. There was a local cinema, kind of local cinema, that did a showing of it on reel. So they had like an original reel, and they played Nosferatu on the big screen, and I never got to see it. And some people I know did, and I've always been a bit like humphy about it. I've been like, I want to see it on the big screen too. I don't want to watch it on YouTube in 240p. That's been me for the last 10 years. So I've been, and then obviously COVID happened, and then like going to the cinema, it wasn't really viable, and I'm still not particularly that fond of the idea. But there is silent. I think Silent Film Bristol tends to play silent films from time to time, depending on how, I don't know, the COVID situation goes in the future. If they're playing Nosferatu with like a live band, that would be pretty cool. But I don't know. Maybe it would just be worth me finding a rip of it, a good one, and just watching it with my projector in my room, because that's close enough. It's old as balls, whatever. I like the style. The style of it's nice, yeah. Especially like the silhouette shots are very good in Nosferatu original. Yeah, Green Matty, I have seen that Yamada has left, but I'm not that surprised. Last British film I watched, so this is Kusan, was The Black Narcissist. I haven't heard of that one. When did that come out? But the last, as in the okay. Yes, 1947, is it? Is it this version, or are we talking about something else? Black Narcissist. It's in colour, is it? Or, I'm getting confused here, because I think I'm getting shots from like the TV show. I don't know if I'm getting shots from the 40s version or not. It's hard for me to tell. You have a 1947 version, okay. Is it in colour? It seems like the shots I'm seeing are in colour. There's a crane flying in this room. That's very annoying. It's flying everywhere. Last time one of these buggers got in the room, came up right in my face, and I like freaked, and I tried to punch it, but I knocked my glasses off and like bent them. Since then, I've never trusted one of these crane flies ever again. I like these blue glasses. Don't break them. Flying in my face and making me flinch. What an asshole. I mean, this Black Narcissus film also looks pretty interesting, actually. But again, tracking it down might be a little bit more difficult than I'd like, because it's from 1947. I don't know if there's even... I guess there is a Blu-ray here. I don't know. But commitment to buying random Blu-rays, I need to be careful with it. I don't have any place... I literally don't have a space for these Blu-rays anymore. I'm serious, guys. There's no space. I don't have any space on my bookshelf anymore, so like... It's usually a bad idea for me to keep buying more of them. I don't know why I'm going to... I just have to like slot them in places. This looks like the original version in Technicolor. I do like my stuff in Technicolor. Prime Video is $4.99, but I don't like buying stuff from Amazon that way. Questions upon questions. There was a Criterion Collection in 2010, but that's a US import, and that's kind of expensive. And also out of stock, so I guess it's no good to me. But then there was also a 2008 Blu-ray, which is really cheap, which must be like some sort of knockoff ITV DVD. Yeah, okay. It's probably just like the film on its own. Gosh darn. It was very cheap, though. Very cheap. Wait, where is it from? It's English, right? Yeah, it is. Welcome back, my friend. We're probably not going to go for much longer, though. It's basically 12 AM at night now. Though we might be... This is weird. We're like, are we peaking on concurrent viewers at like the latest point at night? That's insane. I'll probably go for another... Alright, guys, we'll go for another 5 or 10 minutes. We're just chatting about movies now. They're completely unrelated to the talk, so it's fine. I like talking about movies. It's a good change of pace. Yeah, considering the stream was later than usual today, I'm going to head to bed. Yeah, that's fine, so guys, if you want to go to bed, that's perfectly cool. I should be going to bed. It's my fault. Like, suddenly people appearing, but it's actually quite late for me. I'm going to fall asleep on the stream if I'm not careful. Cameron, but that's the Criterion Collection. That's what the Criterion Collection is known for. They find the original or the best version of classic films and sell them. Yeah, I mean, they do that, but they only do it in American territories, and then I can't get a copy of them. And then there's import fees and regions to codes and stuff to unlock. But yeah, I don't know, that's way too expensive for me. I don't think it's worth it. Alright, let's read the Cello quote in the classic British tongue, shall we? The last British mate film I saw was Clear Skin, the part of the angels and ladies in lavender. Did I say that right? Probably not. Have that Black Narcissus Criterion Collection Blu-ray I could send to the gift. That would be very nice of you, Cameron, but I don't like giving my address out to people on the internet for obvious reasons. I don't have a P.O. box. Maybe I should get a P.O. box, I don't know. Have I seen any Hirokazu Korida films? Let me have a look, because the name doesn't ring a bell, but I might have. I know of Shoplifters, but I haven't watched Shoplifters. I do remember hearing about that one. Sounded good. Yeah, I think I've heard of them before, but looking at the list of films... Hannah. Do I know Hannah? That sounds familiar. I'm going to say I probably haven't seen any of these. Though I definitely heard of Shoplifters. Which seems to be the most popular film from IMDb, at least. That's the impression I'm getting. They're probably good. Well, excellent posh cunt, mate. Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, region locks are a nightmare. Well, okay, I mean, so sometimes Pirate Bay is, well, the high tides of the seas of piracy are sometimes good, but when it comes to films from 1948, I don't tend to trust them to actually have a version on there, which is seeded and all that other stuff. I could always have a look, I guess. But yeah, when it comes to older films, I don't necessarily trust the high tides to care about them, especially when they're like obscure British films. Eureka. Do I think it's feasible to try to create 3D plus 2D mix? If you're going to use Blender, then probably, yeah. Animation using Lee Brimajo's style. You say Joker here. I'm trying to figure out. Is this the Joker comic from a decade ago? Sorry, I need to. I've got to figure out Joker 2. I think I've read this. This cover looks different, but I'm pretty sure I've read this comic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have read this comic. Back in the day, probably borrowed off a friend. Yeah, I remember that the close-up of the mouth picture. Let's have a look at one of these pages. With a style like this, I would say it would probably be better to do it in 3D and then draw on top of it using Blender. I feel like the what's it called, like the grease pencil would be your friend with this, or something like Ebby Synth as well. It really depends, because like some of this stuff in terms of the shadows could probably be done with like shaders, like real-time shaders. But you could totally draw on top of 3D models to give it the illusion of this look. But it really depends on what kind of animation style you're going for. Like, are you going for something very subdued? Like, what kind of movement style are we talking about? But it's definitely possible to do, but like getting it correct would be a different story, because it takes a mastery of several different items for you. When it comes to like these sort of designs, these are very articulate comic book designs. So that sort of stuff takes its own kind of speciality, let's say. I would say it's totally possible, but I would probably say that in most shots, 3D would be the default you'd want to stay on, and you'd want to add 2D elements to make it feel more hand-drawn. Whenever I try it in 3D, it looks kind of plastic. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? That you'd need to have a layer of 3D, and then you'd need to be able to draw on top of it or add some stuff on top of it, probably using like grease pencil to give it the more hand-drawn feeling. There'd have to be a way of mixing those two worlds. And then maybe there's like layers of texture or something. You need to add a couple more, and it may also involve like bringing back a couple layers or like exaggerating a bit more, just because like if you get too close to real, like what you're saying about like the uncanny valley happens. So it may be like moving more towards like let's say like a Walking Dead video game, or the fairy tale, those sort of like Telltale game kind of look. You may have to move more towards there, like a bit more personified. But it really depends. The factors with that are so like complicated. Like, if you want to get a really articulate model done, that's like a lot of time and detail and work. But then it would also be about how you render it, like the shaders. Again, like the drawing on top of it, I think would be really paramount for something like this. Or in the case of something like Ebby Synth, where like that would be like Ebby Synth is like a texture overlay to the animation. Like, it may be a mixture of all three. It may be stuff like grease pencil on one layer. Well, I think the grease pencil may have to be exported as its own layer on like a green screen, but then like Ebby Synth could be its own thing about texture overlays and getting a certain feel on top of the 3D model. And then it could be like 3 layers. It could be like your default models, like without like texture or whatever, like sort of doing the motions and movements. Then on top of that, a layer of texture and maybe shadows done on like Ebby Synth. And then a layer on top of that could be the grease pencil, which could be like the more 2D elements to try and bring a little bit more life into it. So that could be, maybe that's like line work or like scratchiness or maybe like really drawn in darker bits. I don't know. Or maybe it's like mouth flaps. Maybe the mouth flaps become 2D, or like the eye movements become 2D. So like there's still something more hand drawn about it. That's how I would see it. Yeah, it's a complicated process to get right, and I probably wouldn't know how to do it myself. I know like in theory, but like yeah, I don't do 3D, so in practice I probably would be no help at all. But yeah, those programs I know would be at least be useful. People rip Criterion onto Bay, do they? Okay, fair enough. If you can find all of them, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you go really close to high definition graphics, you might have some problems. It's true. It's very true. Was there a specific reason it was? Was there a specific reason you wanted to go for that look entirely, like the Joker comic book? Was it like a fondness for that kind of art style? Again, I don't think it's really impossible to do in 3D, but like to get it right, the issue is it's not just the model, right? Because if you're that close, the problem you'd probably fall into as well is like, if you're that close to real people, as like the Joker style, you will probably need mocap. Or like, ideally you'd need mocap, right? Because you want these people to move like real people. So then it becomes like a mocap thing, which is a completely different situation. And at that point, you're basically filtering reality. Yeah. It would be easier with mocap, certainly, because like if your movements start feeling funky because of how articulate the model is, that's a completely other story. And LTLU2, Lieutenant Love You 2, I think it is. Kind of a nice name. It's kind of a sweet name. Honestly, I might be going to bed soon, I'm afraid. It is 10 past 12, past midnight over here. I've been going for not the longest time. It's been a bit of a shorter stream than usual because I started way later. But it may be good for me to get an early night tonight and get back to work tomorrow. So I did say I was going to stop at 12, and now I've already went past that. Alright. I'm sorry, Potato of Awesome. I'm about to leave, I think, in a second. It's not even a drop left in here, that's a shame. I literally drank it dry. Yeah, it's I gotta get the good sleep, you know. I've been slacking on the good sleep recently. And the problem is as well, like I could have got more sleep last night, but I didn't. I got up way too early. I got up at like 8:30 today, and then I was up. So I got up surprisingly. That's very early for me, especially on a Sunday. And I did not go to bed that early. So yeah, I could be doing with a couple more hours of sleep, I'd say. Okay. Hello World. Which one's Hello World? Sounds familiar. Guessing it's an anime, is it? Hello World. Like a romance anime, is it? Looks a little high compositing, After Effectsy, all the little blurs and lights on it. Yeah, very, very highly rendered. Ongoku, I've been meaning to watch. That looks pretty good. That would be definitely up my alley. I think Ongoku would definitely be the film for me. And I've seen The Wind Rises, yeah. You know, if I could buy it, I really would like to buy it. I think it's definitely the kind of thing that I would love to own. I don't know if I can, though. I think you can only get it in America right now. Let me just double check. Okay, there are versions I can buy now, but I think they're all US import, which is a bit of a shame. honestly prefer not to get a US import if I can like it, because of it's usually to do with how do you put it? It's usually to the struggle with something like that is usually to do with import fees and postage. Keep telling me it's a DVD, but this is a cover of the Blu-ray. Maybe they own, I don't think they do just a DVD. Yeah, it's a little. I'm kind of waiting on a whim that there'll be a UK version of this film at some point, and I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like it to be, but I may be living on a prayer there. I mean, 22 quid is a little bit better, but I really hate having region locked DVDs and Blu-rays and such. I can't stand it. So, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see if they release it properly, because it's independent. Especially one dude making a film. That's mad respect from me. Like, I deserve my money, but I want it in a more ideal situation, not where I have to import it used or from some other rando, because they don't sell them here. If I could have seen it at a theatre, like a festival, that would have been good. Have I watched Land of the Lustrous? No, I have not. Do I read manga? I can barely read. Alright, everyone. I think with that, my barely functional reading skills. To be fair, it's probably more my focusing skills that struggle. But yeah, I read some manga sometimes, but I'm bad at even the stuff I own in paperback. I'm bad at actually reading. Well, usually to me, it's more about time management than the other ways. Okay, everyone. Oh, okay. The cat's kind of on screen. I just noticed she's sneakily just over here. You can just see her little head poking out. Just a little bit. Usually I like to get her a bit more on camera, but beggars can't be choosers with that cat. She never wants to be on camera. But since we're going to end it now, give me a second. I'm going to move the camera a little bit so we can see. Oh, okay. She's in shot now, but my audio is probably going to mess up in a second. So that means we're going to end the stream in a moment. I'll move the light as well. Huh? Oh, I've woken her up now. We're going to say goodnight now, cat. Okay, everyone. I mean, we went for 242. That's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, if I can get on Goku properly, I would prefer to. I just don't want to import it used for someone for an exorbitant price. 7 years is a long time for sure. And I know how it'd be to rotoscope, because I'm a rotoscoper, so I think I'll really appreciate the picture. And I like doing music animation too, so. But yeah, thank you for everyone for joining tonight. And I hope you all have a good time, a good night, good evening, a good day. And maybe I'll see you next Sunday when we continue this up. Thank you, SMMBU. But yeah, catch you all on the flip side. From Portugal, I hope you're having a good time in Portugal. And remember, everyone, fuck racism. That's my catchphrase now. You know that? Well, to be fair, it depends what the shirt I'm wearing. Whatever shirt I'm wearing is the catchphrase I now have. So, like, you know, the other shirt, it's I'm a cute girl. But today, we're saying no That's you know why I like this shirt, guys? You know what I like about this shirt? It baits people. It's very funny to wear a shirt and forget that you're wearing it, but then to get people who are old angry at you, and also people in the comments who, for some reason, are also angry. I don't know why. If you're on YouTube, I don't know why you would be angry at someone's shirt. I find it's a little bit pathetic, to be honest, but it's very funny when they are. So yeah, everyone take a good one, and have a drink on me, all right? Hopefully water though. Keep it hydrated, all right? Be healthy. Peace out.